The Hartley Show is a comic book review program and does not own any of the copyrighted material featured in this episode. All copyrighted material featured will be used as fair use for the purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, and or research. Taki taki. Today on The Hartley Show, we're going to be talking to the fine people from the Nightwing Prodigal Fan Film series. Or, like right over there. I'm sitting here with Brady Roberts, Kylee Bush, and Kyle James Patrick from Nightwing Prodigal, and we're just going to talk about some stuff. So I guess I should start with you, Brady.
Sure.
Can you tell us the impetus? What was the reason? What drew you to make Nightwing Prodigal?
Well, I really wanted to make, originally we made a trailer, which was shot in Alberta, and I really wanted to make something that showcased Nightwing. He's my favorite character. I grew up really relating to Robin and Nightwing and reading those stories and watching the cartoons, and I wanted to make something that could also showcase myself, a little bit of a demo reel for myself. So I made the trailer. Oracle! Did he at least leave the car? Sweet. And then it really took off online. I didn't actually plan to make the series until we started getting a lot of fan mail and stuff about it for a lot of months. So, yeah, now we shot the series.
So you hadn't actually intended to make this into something other than just the trailer?
Just a trailer.
So
just supposed to be like a fake trailer for a Nightwing series.
That's fantastic.
But then people really thought the series was going to come out.
Right.
And actually what happened was people were emailing me for months and months about making the show, and I didn't want to do it because I was just focused on other stuff and wanted to focus on auditions, and I was moving. And then I got an email from a girl that runs a comic shop, and she said that two little boys were in the comic shop talking about the series and how they couldn't wait for the series to come out. And she sent me that, and then I was like, oh, okay. Now I have to make the show because the kids want it. So
that's awesome.
It's like one thing to get like a lot of emails from like adult fans and stuff, which was great. But when the kids started talking about it, I was like, all right.
When did the idea to actually create it?
So originally the idea actually was to do a trailer for a Y the Last Man film with me as Yorick, and we wanted to do like a CGI monkey ampersand. That's one of my favorite books. And then just as we were getting into planning, a really great fan film came out based on Y the Last Man, and it was like amazing, and we were like, okay, well, we need to start from scratch, and that's where the Nightwing idea came in. So yeah, so we worked for a lot of months on that, and then I took some time off from working on it to focus on other stuff, like 6 months, and then another 6 months of working on this. So yeah.
And obviously you had the Kickstarter fund that helped generate funds to pay for the fund.
So we had about 45 investors on Kickstarter.
Right. Yeah. Now, have you had any problems with Warner Brothers or anything like that? Trademark issues?
No. So they put out a statement a couple years ago saying that it was cool to make fan films as long as you weren't profiting from them. So, and a lot of other series and fan films have used Kickstarter. So we did the same.
So the fact that it's just costing you money is okay.
Yeah, so we used all the Kickstarter money for sure, and then definitely some of our own money as well, which is cool because it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to make sure we made the best quality project. So if that meant spending some extra money, then it was worth it for sure. Yeah.
And you're obviously, my experience hanging out with you just a little bit is you're obviously a giant, massive fanboy. I mean, you love this source material. You read quite a few comics.
Definitely.
And you were saying you have a tattoo of like Kyle Rayner somewhere on
I do, yeah. Actually, I'll show you. It's I don't know if you can see it. It's Green Lantern Rayner.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then I have the Star Sapphire here, and one of the Blue Lanterns, Brother Worth here.
Fantastic.
So it's hope. Anyone that reads the book knows this. Hope, love, and willpower. So those are the emotions I
geek
live
cred
my
in
life
the
by. Yeah, so maybe one day I'll get like Larfleeze and stuff on the other arm.
Right on. How did you get hooked up with these guys? How did that whole process work out?
Well, Kyle can tell you that story, actually. How did we meet, Kyle?
Oh, the story of how I met Brady.
How did we meet? Yeah.
Brady turned up to audition for my feature film, and that's how I met him. I met him beforehand, and we had like a long conversation in a coffee house as I expunged all this information about what everyone from the character, and then Brady came along, and we rejected him. And we went with a different actor, who is coincidentally in this production. And so I met Brady as a guy who didn't quite make it, but I knew what he had in him, and I knew what he had as an actor, so I had respect for him as a person. So when he came to me and said, "Hey, I've got this DC fan web series, do you want to like direct this?" I'm like, yeah, because he doesn't do anything half-assed. If anyone's seen Brady wrestle, they'll know that he doesn't do anything half measures. And when you've got someone coming in who's a star and a producer, it's like he's saying, "Hey, do you want to jump in between a rock and a hard place as a director? Because I'm in charge of everything." And I knew what he wanted from me. I knew he wanted me to just sort of keep an eye on the middle section and have a good overall view of the project, because he's so heavily involved, and he's the writer as well. He's three massive gods, and then there's me in the middle, like, okay, rolling, if that's all right, Brady. Yeah, okay.
He just keeps my ego in check and makes me humble.
Yeah, that was it. If there was an alternative title for me, it would be Brady Roberts, ego director. So Brady came to me with a project. I really liked the script, and it was I can't say no to that type of project when it comes to it.
Now, how much geek cred do you got? You're a bit of a nerdy, geeky guy.
I do.
But you're more like cartoons than comics, are you?
How to say? I kind of converted from the Marvel universe over to the Image universe. So I was one of those sort of crossover people. Right. I can remember the conversation I had with my best friend Luke, who's like, his room is built of Marvel. Like, there's no wall anymore. It's just Marvel. He's got like 5,000 issues now. And when I said to him, like, I'm going to move off comics into stuff with people without powers, we had I was the indie comic guy, and he was the big nerd, and we had that battle for many years. And where I am now is just pure throwback geekery. If there was an unlimited fund for me to make a movie, I would go out and make Inhumanoids, the live-action series.
Wonderfully obscure.
It was completely obscure. If anyone hasn't seen Inhumanoids, see it. There's only 14 episodes, and they are effectively a movie. It moves at an incredible pace, and it's just, I love it.
Well, now let's give Kylee a chance to talk.
Yeah.
How did you feel about working on this project? What is it about the project that you felt inspiring, and I'll let you take it from there.
Really big leap.
It was a bit vague,
Well, actually, Brady posted the original trailer they did in Alberta on a Vancouver film board on Facebook. And so I saw the trailer a couple of months before they did auditions. I was like, wow, if they make that into a series, I want to be Poison Ivy. That would just be so cool. Because I was actually Poison Ivy for Halloween, ironically enough. I don't know.
And how we cast.
Yeah.
Do you have the costume?
Perfect, you're in. And then I saw that they were doing auditions, and so I had to auditioned. It was so fun. It was like I auditioned with Kyle and Brady, and it was just a fantastic experience. And then I got cast, and it's been an awesome adventure. Yeah, met a lot of cool people. So.
And your feelings on how it was to portray Poison Ivy?
Well, I felt that Poison Ivy hasn't really been portrayed in any kind of cinema other than Uma Thurman's performance, and I know that a lot of people weren't exactly satisfied with her performance.
Probably everybody in the room, right?
Or that
duck eggs.
There's lots to be said in that. But I wanted to take it from kind of my perspective and add kind of the more heavy seduction and play it on that kind of a way. And I really wanted to kind of, give people more of what they think of Poison Ivy as a fact of just what we've seen from Uma Thurman. So, yeah.
And of course, we can't blame Uma Thurman for that. Right? That was all Schumacher.
Schumacher did it.
She's always done a great job, except for in that one atrocity of film. How do you feel about now that the project's, there's only one thing left to do. You've got a little bit of ADR that I'll be involved with. And thanks for including me in the project.
Yes.
It was an absolute blast.
Of course.
Obviously, I can't see what I'm doing. But how do you feel about the project so far?
I'm incredibly proud of what we've done with the project, and a lot of that comes down to Kyle and our DP Bruce and our head of makeup Lindsay, and some really amazing people that came on board, and I'm really forever thankful for that, because the idea that I had in my mind of what the series would be like has actually been blown out of the water with what we actually did. So I'm really, really happy with it, and I think we're really going to set a new bar for what a fan series could and should be, and so I'm stoked.
Be sure to tune in next Wednesday on The Hartley Show to catch part 2 of the Nightwing Prodigal interview. Same bat time, same bat station.